I am what they call a mortgage planner, somewhat like a financial planner that enters through the mortgage side. I help people buy houses, so I take care of the financing side, and then I also help people restructure, or what's commonly known as refinance, their home loans. All right, so college was kind of a mixed bag. I got married really early. I was about 23. My wife had just turned 21. I had went to high school, and then I went ahead and I did 2 years of community college and got my AA. At that point, I needed to go ahead and get a job. So I started off in the tech industry, and I was working for several technology companies. And from there, I transitioned, and I just have my AA at this point, right? And then I transitioned into some of the larger tech firms, selling and managing technology solutions. At that point, I figured out, hey, I need to go get my degree. And I went to the University of Phoenix when it was not online. I don't even think there was email at that point, but anyways, I went there and in a group setting and was able to get my Bachelor's of Science in Management. Honestly, I looked at all the different business classes and I said, which one has the least amount of classes? And I went ahead and I took that one, because really at this point, I just knew that if I was going to be applying for other positions, that people look, did you at least finish a college degree? It's not necessarily what it was in. Well, I was working more than a full-time job, married, had 2 children, so I was very, very busy. So time was very important to me. So I only had to go to school in the evenings, and I had group settings, and it was the style of learning too. Most of the big universities out there, it's a lot of memorization and Scantron tests and things like that. This was all project-related learning, a lot of papers, a lot of group settings, which was more like the business world. So I decided that that was a better fit for me, and it also worked within my time schedule. I could work full-time and go to school and have my degree in less than 2 years. Oh my gosh. In high school, then they give you the tests and they say what you should do. Well, originally I was going to be a park ranger, right? Yeah, and then as I got a little bit older, I figured out that I wanted to be an orthodontist. And the only reason why I knew that is because I looked up in the book and I looked at potential salaries, and I found out that they made a lot of money. So I'm like, okay, I want to go be an orthodontist. And then life kind of took shape, and I knew that going to orthodontic school was going to cost me a ton, and I didn't have really any money saved for it, and my parents didn't either. So I just went and got my AA and started working. Established a couple startup businesses, and kind of the path just continued like that. God, I don't even think I've even had any internships, honestly. I remember having jobs in, say, the food industry when I was going through high school and college, and some of those jobs were learning the disciplines of doing something, but doing it 100%, showing up on time, making sure that you checked your work to make sure that it met the expectations or exceeded the expectations that I did. So every time I was applying for a job, I was keeping that in mind. I think one of the big things that's out there in kind of the workforce is that individuals, they don't look at how they can do things above and beyond expectations. Sometimes it's like, yeah, I get that done just this way, and I'll let it slide by, and that's really good enough, right? Well, in every position, everything from selling shoes to bussing tables to at a grocery store or working for a technology firm, making phone calls to people. and connecting CEOs and chief information officers and directors into a particular solution for their company, I always found that those basic skills of communication and being able to complete something went really well. Wow, you know what? It just kind of happened. I didn't necessarily choose it. I think it chose me. I was, as going through and being newly married, I knew that I needed to get some kind of financing. I knew that I was fairly good at talking to people and that I was personable. People have told me that I come off really authentic, and I really do care about what I do. So quality is really, really big on my list. So from there, I just kind of followed what God laid in front of me. And I ended up being very, very successful as an account executive or manager in the technology firm. And then I tried new things. I did hire a business coach kind of at the end of my career in the technology, and the industries were shifting at that point. Technology had had a huge boom all the way up into the 2000, 2002, and then things changed where it wasn't quite as hot anymore. But what was really starting to really heat up was the real estate industry or the real estate finance industry. So I called up a friend based on some advice from my business coach, and he offered me a job. Keep in mind, I had two kids, full-time job, cars, the whole thing. And my friend said, I'll give you a job. You come work for me. I'll pay you $6 an hour, and I'll put you on a call center, and you can call out 100 to 200 to 300 times in an evening. All you got to do is get their social security number, their date of birth, and find out if they'd be willing to take a look at refinancing and saving money. So I started at the very bottom. So I guess you could say that was an internship. But I was also a 32-year-old man at that time. Well, typically, it's very different than what it used to be, but I roll out of bed and I really try to spend some time centering myself and having a cup of coffee and spending some time alone, because once my day gets started, it is fast and furious. So I've got to go into my day well equipped and mentally prepared to handle anything that gets thrown at me. I also look at what the key tasks are that I need to complete that day. And then I'm usually in the morning, I do what I don't like to do first. And because if you don't do that, it won't get done. So I make my outbound phone calls to prospective customers. I am writing solutions or different things. And then from there, I am fielding new incoming business and responding to them. I'm giving my assistant a kind of a list or ideas of things that she needs to accomplish as well. And through the end of the day, I usually shut down. Often I'll have lunch, but it will be at my office desk if I rarely get out, or maybe I'm taking somebody out to lunch. And a real estate agent, a financial planner, or somebody else that's looking to buy a house. And then from there, at the end of the day, I'm usually, because folks are getting home around 5:30, so when they get home, they want to talk to me. So a lot of times I won't be done until around 7:30. And then I roll out of my office, I grab some dinner, I'm back on the couch, and I'm working. Probably sometimes till 11 o'clock, midnight. Measure twice, cut once. Make sure that when you're doing something, whether it be in your chosen career or something that you are led into, make sure that you do it with excellence every time. The other piece, the type of advice that I gave my daughters, which are now 21 and 23. They went to Cuthbertson High School and went through the whole Union County education system. They went ahead and went and got their AA at South Piedmont Community College, because I'm totally not into having student loan debt for them. So I encourage them to do that, and also take the classes that you can while you're in high school and get credit for the college ones as well at the same time. And then find something that you are passionate about if you can, because life will be a lot easier if you're doing what you like to do. My one daughter, she found that she really loved film, editing, and project management. She went to South Piedmont Community College, and then she went to UNCW, so Wilmington. And she got her degree in marketing, technology, communications, and now she works as a project manager in the film industry. She did lots of internships while she was going through school. Because she was doing her AA at the local, at home, and rent was free, food was free, she was able to do internships while she was able to go to school to see if she liked what she thought she was going to do, and then she did it. My second daughter, she's always had a passion for nursing. She's now an RN. In fact, she started her first job at Children's Levine Hospital last week. So if you can find something you're passionate about, do it. But you know what? Don't sit idle. Do something. Don't wait for it to come to you. Go get it.